The New York Jets are dealing with some injuries that could cause some problems this week. We'll talk about it. Plus, some player frustration seems to be boiling over. Let's get to it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe as you're heading on in. It's time to talk all things New York Jets on this godforsaken 0-7 team. Here we go. Well, there's a few things to get to. First off, let's get to the injury report that came out yesterday. Aaron Glenn spoke to the media yesterday, and there's some concerning things. I'm not going to lie. There's some concerning things. One of the concerning things from old AG right off the bat is Sauce Gardner is in the NFL's concussion protocol. And as we've seen with Michael Carter II, who has struggled to get back on the field. He was in the final stage of the NFL's concussion protocol this week, was not able to play in that game. We saw it with Justin Fields. It's just longer and more difficult than ever to get past in a short amount of time. And while there's been a lot of noise about Sauce Gardner this season, he's been spectacular over the last 2 weeks. On Sunday against Carolina Panthers, he was targeted once in 24 coverage snaps, and he broke up that pass. He gave up absolutely nothing against the Carolina Panthers. Go back to the week before that when they were in London, and he was playing against the Denver Broncos. Courtland Sutton lined up against Sauce Gardner on 86% of his routes and allowed on average 1.8 target separation. Ultimately, that was one catch for 17 yards. Bo Nix, of course, looked Courtland Sutton's way just twice. Sauce Gardner has been spectacular over the last 2 weeks, and the Jets defense has picked up the last 2 weeks. Coincidence? I think not. But here's the problem. If he's unable to go and we have, this concussion protocol business where he's unable to progress through this week, oh boy. This week, the Jets hit the road, week 8. They go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. These are the results of the most recent game for the Cincinnati Bengals when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. They have 10-day rest for this game. Jamar Chase had 16 catches for 161 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 23 times. T. Higgins had 6 catches, 96 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 10 times. And if you guys watch the end of that game, T. Higgins slid before the end zone, or he would have had another touchdown to add to this total. So the Jets are going to have to work some magic here with Sauce Gardner up in the air. Again, he's not officially out yet, but again, with the extensive nature of the NFL's 5-step concussion protocol, we could be seeing some more Azareye'h Thomas, which was some good and bad in Carolina, which we saw some splashes of. We saw him on a key pass breakup at the end of the game, make a good play, which gave the ball back to the Jets offense and gave them a chance. But then we also saw he gave up the boom play on the back end where, might have been a little bit of a push off, but it didn't matter. And Carolina got the big first down conversion. That was on Azareye'h Thomas. He's a rookie. We're going to see the good moments and bad moments. But, there could be some issues here. Ant Jets 82, Ant-Man, that single game record is in serious jeopardy. I was listening because Zach Taylor, the Bengals did a walkthrough practice yesterday. So I like listening to the other team's media and saying, all right, what are they talking about? And Zach Taylor said, yeah, we'd love to break the all-time single season, or single game reception record. But, he says it all is based on circumstance. But boy, it could be in jeopardy on Sunday. Now, Brandon Stevens, another shout-out here because, in an 0-7 season, you're not doing a lot of shout-outs. But Brandon Stevens played very well. I don't know if I would go to Nick Ferrier yesterday. He was saying, wow, man, what a great signing. I don't know if I would go that far with all that, especially with the struggles that happened early in the season. But it's been a nice bounce back for Brandon Stevens. but this is an impossible task. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., shout out to him in the slot. So if Jamar and T decide to dip their toes in the slot waters, I feel good about Jarvis. But some of that boundary opportunities may be an issue. And what the Jets will need to do is create a pass rush, and they have not been able to do that consistently, point blank. Absolutely not. And Joe Flacco, if he has time, as we just saw in that Steelers game, he could slice and dice a defense. So that's one of the injuries that is of grave concern. Is Sauce Gardner battling the concussion protocol? Another guy in the concussion protocol, Kene Nguanu. Good Lord. This guy is awesome when he's on the field. Really awesome. He just can't stay on the field. I mean, this guy is always hurt. It's a damn shame. He's a former All-Pro return man. We've enjoyed him. They've sprinkled him in a little bit on offense. They didn't give him any action in terms of targets and carries and things of that nature. But, man, Kene Nguanu hurt again. He's in the concussion protocol. TBD. I mean, he hurt his hamstring real bad in week 1, and we missed him for a month plus. But so Kene Nguanu concussion protocol. Jets could be dipping back into their returner pool to try to figure that one out and see what the hell they're going to do there. No update on Garrett Wilson so far, as we're talking injury updates. Garrett Wilson, of course, missed the first game of his NFL career this past Sunday against Carolina Panthers. No update from Glenn, not that I expected one necessarily. But again, I think if he was close, and sort of how the Jets operated with Garrett Wilson suggests he was close to playing. Again, unless it was pure gamesmanship and AG's just blowing smoke up our skirts, which is possible. It seems like he's close. But if he's close and you're the Jets and you're in the middle of this 0-7 season, as much as I would love to see Garrett out there if he's healthy, it behooves the Jets to rest Garrett another week here in week 8, have the bye in week 9, and then again, from game to game of when he was out to when he comes back would essentially be a month off for Garrett. So I think that's too tempting for the Jets. I think they will not play Garrett Wilson this week. But again, if he's good to go, then great. There's no extra rest required. But I think the Jets are definitely going to be circling that one around. And I believe Garrett is unlikely to play this week. So the Jets will have to try to figure it out on offense. And I said last week, leading up to the Panthers game, that this was an opportunity for the coaching staff, LOL, to flex their muscles and say, hey, no Garrett, no problem. Here, without the target monster of Garrett Wilson of 40% target share, we'll be able to, everybody eats. That's the shirts they wear in Buffalo, not having a true number 1 wide receiver. Everyone eats. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe everyone can eat. No one ate. 2 field goals. So people were left starving, fans and players alike, coming off that Panthers game. So that's going to be another challenge here for Tanner Engstrand. We'll see if they're able to do it. Likely minus Garrett Wilson on offense. Yikes. Again, I'll give a mini shout out. Josh Reynolds, he had a couple of tough contested catches, but it meant nothing because they only scored 2 field goals on offense. Jay Tufele has a knee sprain. I didn't even know he had been playing, quite frankly, because he's had no impact on the field whatsoever. So Jay Tufele, knee sprain, TBD. Breece Hall did get banged up during that game, which Alon sort of jinxed when he called in about, Breece Hall could get hurt. Why is he still playing? Why is he still on the team? He got banged up during the game, left it. He seemed very frustrated, spiking his helmet on the sideline, but apparently he is quote-unquote fine. So nothing serious for Breece Hall, so that's good news for the Jets. And if any of you trade deadline folk, I'm sure we get some of that conversation when we open up the phone lines. That could come up. Also, news, Quincy Williams is eligible to practice and be activated off of injured reserve this week. We're still another 2 weeks away from the NFL trade deadline. Aaron Glenn, of course, was non-committal on Quincy Williams immediately being able to practice, keeping that one close to the vest and being non-committal on that. So we will see. So I'd love to see Quincy back out on the field and maybe another person that could be traded in the last year of his deal. TBD, we'll see. Because Francisco Mauigoa, man, he's been playing all right. The Jets getting some reps to these younger guys, which, again, maybe the Jets should consider doing like an Alan Lazard. Do you just move on and say, all right, let's just cut his ass? Or trade him if you can, but probably can't trade him for anything, as we joked on Sunday's pregame show with NFL insider Matt Lombardo. But maybe just move on and just go to one of the younger cats on the right, Brandon Smith, Quentin Skinner, Jamal Pritchett, maybe for the first time this season. Why not? What the hell do you have to lose? We are in evaluation mode. perhaps the Jets should just rip the Band-Aid off on some of these veterans that clearly are not going to be playing. For instance, the Jets today with Malachi Moore. That's another little silver lining on the back end of the defense. He's now the full-time starter, replacing Tony Adams in the lineup. And Malachi's looked really good, so why not do that for a couple of other positions? Maybe a strong consideration for the New York Jets. And that is your injury report. Again, Sauce Gardner, Kane Guano concussion protocol. Again, the NFL concussion protocol is very difficult to try to break through. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Garrett Wilson, I would say this is not an Aaron Glenn update. This is a Paul Eston update. I don't think he's playing this week, but we'll see what happens. Jay Tufele, knee sprain. Brees Hall, banged up, but quote-unquote should be fine. And Quincy Williams eligible to practice this week. Aaron Glenn non-committal. Shout out to Rich Samini for gathering all the news and notes on the variety of Jets injuries that they're currently dealing with as well here in the universe. All right, let me throw this one up. Some player frustration perhaps boiling over here. Jermaine Johnson, this was, the game ended less than an hour after this post went out. Jermaine Johnson took it to social media saying, laying it all out there, man, something got to give. And, the frustration boiling over, of course, of the Jets being winless, the only winless team in football. Let me see. Let me take a gander. Why not? I haven't looked at this in a hot second, but why the hell not, since we're 0-7 for Pete's sake. Here's the Tankathon look. Here are the top 10 teams as it pertains to Tankathon. Let's throw that up on your screen real quick. We'll come back to you, Jermaine, I promise. Let me see. Here we go on the Tankathon top 10. Let's throw that up here on the screen. We'll come back to you, Jermaine. Let's go to the top 10 here, right? So Houston just lost last night, dropping a 2-4. I think they had their bye week already. Must have. Or else that one doesn't make any sense. By the way, real quick, Jets-Bengals. Bengals open up as a 4.5-point favorite at home. That line has increased to 6.5. That line could continue to grow. We'll keep an eye out for that coming through on that. No, yeah, Texans only 2-4. I guess they did have another week sprinkled in there of alternative business. We'll see. But there you go for Texans. So anyway, just want to make sure Tankathon was updated. Anywho, so yeah, Jets 0-7. There are only 4 other one-win teams in football, and Baltimore had a bye. So you had Miami, New Orleans, Tennessee, Baltimore, and then everyone else is 2+ wins in the National Football League. Oh, boy. This is just ugly to see. I'm just going to be candid. And Miami apparently is not going to be firing Mike McDaniel, so keep that for whatever it is. Let's see. What do we got on the slate this week? Because some of these teams are inevitably going to play each other again. We know the Jets play the Dolphins again. The Jets have the Saints on the schedule. So that's another one that's coming up here in terms of business. Let me pull up week 8 real quick, see if Dolphins have the Falcons this week. All right, that's on the docket. Cleveland's got New England. Let me see. Baltimore's got Chicago, and coming out of the bye, Lamar should be back, so they're probably going to disappear from this group of, shitty teams. New Orleans is Tampa Bay. That one's in New Orleans. Maybe. There's some of the look for top 10 Tankathon. Sucks that we have to be looking at this, but there you go. And yes, as Alon points out, strength of schedule is the number one tiebreaker. The Jets have one of the easiest schedules remaining, so that I imagine is going to have some heavy shifting moving forward because Dolphins obviously inside the Jets division too. So Jets have a 487 strength of schedule. The lower the strength of schedule, like the easier the schedule is and the more you lose, the better benefit you get. So, the easier your schedule is with your shitty record, that's how it flips, right? Because like Tennessee's got a really strong strength of schedule at 547. So the good news is if the Jets were tied with a team like Tennessee, it wouldn't matter. Baltimore, it wouldn't matter. New Orleans, it wouldn't matter at this current moment, although it always changes. So sort of keep that in mind. It would matter in the Dolphins-Jets game. Dolphins-Jets record, excuse me, which is a factor. Yikes. Hate talking about Tankathon, but that's where we're at. Anywho, getting back to Jermaine, it seems like it's getting frustration boiling over. And I can't blame him, the team, he's put it all out there. He's had a tremendous impact defensively on this team. Maybe not individually, statistically speaking, but like his impact on the rest of the guys has obviously made a difference. he's been out there for the last 2 games. The Jets defense suddenly has woken up and have allowed only 13 points in each of those contests. So, I don't blame him. I still hope we don't trade Jermaine. I love Jermaine. I want Jermaine to stay. But there's a lot more whispers getting louder and louder about Jermaine potentially being traded. But when I hear trade value of a 3rd-round pick, maybe a 2nd-round pick, I just no thank you. I just have absolutely zero interest whatsoever, to be blunt. So get lost, people out there in the trade universe trying to come after our guy Jermaine. Absolutely friggin' not. By the way, we got over 200 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. That's a free way to contribute on the show, so feel free to take full advantage, baby. We're getting closer to 8,100 subscribers. Before the start of business, I think we were 3 short. Let me check if we've gained any in the 20 or so minutes we've been on the show so far. Let me take a gander here. Let's see. Yeah, we're 3 away. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, jump on board, baby. We're 3 away from 8,100. We continue to climb. Continue to climb, baby. Also, we've got another 10 days left we're 10 days away from Halloween. Got another 10 days left in our raffle contest this month. So let's get the good vibes rolling here with some of this. Let's see. Let's get our prize pack up here so y'all can see it. Here we go, baby. And boom. Here's our raffle prize. All you have to do is spend $3 on the YouTube channel, and you have a chance to win all these prizes. We'll be giving this away on November 1st. We have a random vintage Jets player t-shirt. Love giving you guys that fun blast from the past there. We have our Boy Green Woody tailgate package. If you did not attend our Jets Cowboys tailgate, which was awesome, well, we're going to send the tailgate to you. It's going to include our t-shirt that everyone who attended got, a koozie, a Jets coaster, bottle openers, nice little fun gift pack of action there. We have a vintage New York Jets NFL Combine authentic cold gear long sleeve with hood. That's on your far left of your screen. Again, I know some Jets employees that work in the building, and when they leave, they have all this free Jets gear, official gear from the team, and I'm able to buy it sometimes. And I like to sometimes put that in some of the giveaways. That's pretty cool, which is awesome. And then the 1975 official New York Jets yearbook cover. Shout out to Joey Matesic, diehard Jets fan, who sent in a wonderful bounty of Jet prizes that he said you can give away or keep. And again, most of them I want to keep, but I'm trying to give some of them away because that's the kind of guy I am. So all these items are up for grabs. One person will win all of them. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to have an opportunity, baby. So let's go. And here's what I'll do to try to hopefully increase, the vibes in here. Let me gift some Boy Green Coffee Club memberships here on the channel. Let me see. Here we go. I'm going to give away 5 memberships right now, baby. Let's see. Feel free, if you guys are watching on the show, give some memberships and jump on the train, baby. And feel free to do so. We'll see if we can, increase the vibes in here and get it. I know things are tough, of course, at, 0-7 for obvious reasons. But here we go. Yes. Boom shakalaka. Here you go, baby. 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Well, from Boy Green. Let's go. Congratulations to the 5 out there. Baby, enjoy the Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Every time 5 memberships or more gifted here on the show, we play a quick video ensemble. Baby. Yeah, there you go. Nice. All right, those 5 new memberships went to Macho Talk Sports. Macho, welcome in. Great to have you a part of the family recently. We have Bite, Dab's Face, Chris K the 5th. Great to see Chris K back in here, and Jason C. You guys all got Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. This is a month free trial, basically to test out the waters, drive around the Ferrari, see if you like it. At the end of the month, you'll be offered an opportunity to stay a Boy Green Coffee Club member for only $3 a month. So test out the waters, enjoy it, and you guys will get a great perk, of course, every day, but specifically, we have a big, big, big guest coming up on Thursday. You guys will have early access to that interview. We'll be recording that in the mid-afternoon, early evening on Thursday. So you guys will be able to get to see that interview before anybody else, and then eventually it'll be opened up to the public. So you guys get early access to videos, among some other wonderful prizes, including access to our Discord channel as well. So you guys can get a sneak peek of what being a Boy Green Coffee Club member is all about, baby. So congratulations to those 5, and keep growing the army, baby. NC Green getting in the mix. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Here we go. 0-7, but that's not downing our energy. Patrick Cahill just got that membership from NC Green. Appreciate you, NC Green. Let's add that to your total. You have 11 raffle tickets so far this month. There you go. Get involved in the mix. It was awesome meeting you, NC Green, for sure. All right, let's update our banner here. NC Green with 11 raffle tickets, and then we have Alon in 5th place with 10 raffle tickets. Not too shabby at all. The banner was just updated. Beautiful. Thank you, NC Green. If you guys would like to gift Boy Green Coffee Club members, just hit that money sign if you're watching on YouTube. And you can gift channel memberships or send in your super chat questions. Feel free to do so. Thank you, NC Green. Yes, also NBA tonight. NBA is back, baby. Shout out to T Green. Keep pounding. Hey, you guys kept pounding us. So, hey, man, you won, and 4-3, first road win for you guys, and good luck the rest of the season. Sorry about the Bryce Young injury. I hope you guys beat the shit out of Buffalo. That would be fun. I don't know if Andy Dalton will have that on his bingo card, but I'd love to see it. So, good luck, T Green and the Panthers. Yeah, there's nothing more I would love than to see the Panthers beat the Buffalo Bills this week. We'll see if that happens. E the Key says the Dolphins' only wins of the season will be against the Jets. Well, that's possible. The Jets absolutely blew that first one. That Braylon Allen fumble still gives me nightmares. Johnny Boy here on the show. Question for BG in the chat. What is a New York Jets touchdown? Hard to know, Johnny. I haven't seen it since the Jets-Cowboys game that a lot of us were all together for, with 1:49 remaining in the contest. Justin Fields found Garrett Wilson for a touchdown. No touchdown in the Broncos game. No touchdown in the Panthers game. The real question is, when will the next touchdown happen? And I will tell you this, people out in the universe, right? Here's a good example, right? Matthew Stafford in London, where the Jets scored no touchdowns, he threw 5 touchdown passes. You know, some fans don't realize how spoiled they are. You know, I host a daily New York Jets video show. We haven't had a touchdown in 3 weeks. 3 weeks we haven't had a touchdown. And yet we're here every day. There's 200 people in the room right now watching and listening to the things I'm saying. And we haven't had a touchdown. We appreciate things way more than anybody else because they just happen so infrequently that we really appreciate it, I think. So when a touchdown happens, I'm like, oh, good Lord, have mercy. Rams like, another touchdown, another touchdown, another touchdown. How can you possibly appreciate it with so many touchdowns raining from the high heavens? Shout out to Jets legend, by the way, Devontae Adams, with a 3-pack of touchdown combinations. Appreciate you. So what is a touchdown? No idea. Hopefully we can find out this weekend against the Bengals. I'd love to get our first win of the season. We'll see if that happens. Seems difficult to envision. Mitch Staff trying to interpret the quote says, sounds like he wants to go, but not helping himself. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. One second, folks. There we go. Sorry, some weird issues happening there. Strange. All right, anywho, let's get back to some of your comments here. I slept Jets fan helped me 2,400 in tickets, 60 in parking passes, 400 in food. Why do I do it every game? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know. That's a good question. But to me, if I live close, I would love to do it. Again, I don't know how that would work with Boy Green dailies every day. But yeah, I mean, it's so cool, man. to be. It sucks, I'm sure, for you guys now at 0-7 and all that, but the memories, man, I just get a slice of it going once a year, sort of, because sometimes more games, but most of the time it's been either no games a year or one game a year, because I live like 5-6 hours away, and I've got family and everything else over here, so it's difficult sometimes to make those trips. And my job, I cover the New York Jets, so going to said Jet games complicates the work I have to do to cover the team. But man, that's so cool for all you guys to get to do it. Again, doing the once a year tailgate, which hopefully we're doing for many more years until I'm dead. It's just a really cool to get all the community together and see each other, because we all see these names of AA74, Mark Sacchetti, Mitch Staff, Yo Holmes, and all these others. It's cool to, on the other side, get to see you guys in person, and then we get to commiserate, hand-to-hand combat. Alon says, Paul, keeping the fans interested in the Jets the rest of the year will be quite difficult. Yes, it will be a challenge that we will attempt to figure out. We'll try to crack that code. By the way, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. I'm sure there's things people want to say about this team ahead of the trade deadline and Bengals week. I will say real quick before we open up the phone lines, I wish this was under better circumstances and more of our previews with our, we talked to all these different folks, like the Bengals this week. We're going to talk to Wayne Box Miller. He's part of the Cincinnati Bengals radio network. And I got to network with Wayne a couple of years ago. And every time the Jets and Bengals play now, we connect the dots. So he'll be joining us live on our Thursday Boy Green Daily this week. Again, I wish it was under better circumstances and we could really dive into the X's and O's and fun stuff. But I understand a lot of that meat and potatoes gets sort of lost as the Jets are 0-7 and people start to care less about some of that nitty gritty with the game. But I'm very much looking forward to catching up with Wayne. That'll be coming up on Thursday morning for Boy Green Daily. So I appreciate all the people, all the different guests that join us throughout all the weeks. We had a brand new Carolina Panthers person on last week, and we got the bye week next week. That'll be interesting. We'll probably bring on a general NFL person to talk trade deadline, unfortunately. So I guess a state of the state. We'll probably have some other Jets content creators on or something for the bye week. We'll figure that out. But we're going to continue to champion all of these different topics and storylines, and we'll do it. Boy Green Daily, that's what we do. By the way, quick timeout. We'll take your phone calls next.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Nice. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Hey! Shout out to Hep, baby. Shout out to Hep. I want to put a poll up right now. I'm going to put up a poll, and then we'll answer your phone calls. That's coming in a second. But here's the poll. Do you guys want me to really start talking draft content? I saw that from Rico the Pup. The code is easy. Talk about the draft. What else do we have to look forward to? Do you guys really want to talk about the draft at the end of October? And I'm like sort of questioning it, but hey, I'm a man of the people. So do you guys and gals, for that matter, want me to start doing regular NFL draft content considering the Jets are 0-7? Yes or no? That's the poll. I just put that up. I'm curious what the results will be. Maybe it's just going to be an overwhelming, obviously, this team stinks. Or people could be like, nah, dude, it's a season. You got to wait for the draft. So I'll throw it up. The poll's up on YouTube. Feel free to interact with it. Let me know. My guess is no. Like, come on, man. but maybe. I just I don't know. We'll see what. Hey, it's up to the fans. I'm always a man of the people. That's what you want. Also, I mean, I got a lot of draft contexts. So if that's what you want to do, we'll start doing it. But I would assume not. But hey, we'll leave it up to the YouTube poll results, guys. If you'd like to vote and interact on that poll, let me know. Again, the question is, with the Jets' current state of affairs at 0-7, are you interested in me? And when I say draft content, I mean having draft guests on the show, start talking about quarterbacks, start talking about this. If that's what you want, let me know. Feel free. I would assume not, but let's see what happens. Let's go to the phone lines. Mr. Fulton kicks us off.
Well, good morning, Paul. How are you this morning?
Top of the morning, sir. Congrats to your 6-1 Indianapolis Colts. Very nice.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
For the
I
shoe,
want to give
baby.
a shout out. I want to give a shout out for Jonathan Taylor. He had a lot of touchdowns and a lot of passes, and he made 200. I forget how many touchdowns he's got, but Tyler Willen, he's the greatest wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of touchdowns in the past, and I'm happy for that. And
Yeah, major shout out. Yeah, he's been awesome. So Jonathan Taylor is in the MVP discussion as a running back. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. And you know what I'm gonna be doing, Paul?
What's that?
I'm gonna be doing my victory dance.
Okay. Oh, let's see it. What does that look like?
You sure?
I
I don't have the I don't have the music yet, so.
Okay. All right. Just play the music in your head. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to Colts. Let's go to Colts. Let's go to Colts.
Wow. Terrific. Spectacular. Nice. Yeah. Go Indy, go. Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yep. So, I'm still working on the Singing in the Rain. We did our cleanup for the for Act 1. So we're getting ready for the big. We're getting ready for the big show coming up next month.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So if you want to swing on by, Paul, and see the show, it's November 20th to the 22nd.
Okay. Where is it?
It's at Noblesville White River Christian Church.
Okay. All right.
It's in Indiana, so.
Okay. Are you guys streaming it online somewhere?
I'm not sure yet, but I would talk to my director.
Yeah,
and
please
see
do. Yeah.
if we're allowed to do it. I'm not sure we're going to, but we'll let you know. And
please do.
Yep. So
appreciate it, Mr. Famous Fulton, and
Yep.
go Indiana, go Indiana, go. Yeah,
Paul,
sure.
don't forget, I have a live stream tomorrow afternoon at 3:00. You guys are welcome to come.
Oh, great. Where is it? What's the YouTube channel?
Well, it's Mr. Fulton Moraz, and it's my old one. I have a very special guest, a DJ guest, coming on my show.
Oh, terrific.
So you guys are welcome to come, and we're going to talk about like music and stuff, and sorts of stuff. And you guys are interested, I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Later in the chat, that'd be sweet. Thanks. Yeah.
Yep. Starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time on my channel.
Okay, beautiful. I operate on Eastern time, so that is incredibly beneficial. Thank you, Mr. Famous Fulton.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
There he is. Oh, Mr. Famous Fulton. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay. A lot going on there. Hey, I love everyone breaking off doing their own shows. This is freaking cool, man. Amen. Hey, now. All right. Works for me. All right. Sweet. All right. Congratulations, Mr. Famous Fulton. All right. I guess that's dropping in the YouTube comment section. I'll share it when it does. Awesome. All right. Back to the phone lines. Hepster.
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
I was looking at AG's press conference, and there seems something a little different about him. I don't know if you noticed it.
It did. Yeah, he does have a different vibe about him right now. Yeah, for sure.
It seems like I think his self-confidence is shaking a little bit. And then I guess when you're 0-7,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
gotta
I
lose.
mean, right? Like, and I know HE keeps saying sort of like the words or something, but like the vibe is different. Like he keeps
Yeah.
saying, like, I am not gonna waver. Like, this is our plan. This is it. This is what we're gonna do. And I think Zach Rosenblatt had it in one of his recent stories about the Athletic about like he walked through this scenario, and when I heard it, I thought he was talking about the Jets. He talked about like how this game went off the rails, and I'm like, "Yep, that sounds like that classic Jets game that happened 2 weeks ago." And then he revealed, like one of those blind things that said, "Oh, he was talking about the Lions in the first season." Like one of the Jets games this year apparently went exactly how a Lions game went when they started with Dan Campbell, and he said that this is why they're unwavering and this is their belief, and despite what everyone else says outside, that they believe in this. So, I mean, that's what I'm sure a lot of people want to hold on to and say this is just the Lions thing, Lions North over here, and it's just going to have the same impact. But obviously, not everything is always the same, just in a different place. Just because AG is 0-7 does not necessarily mean he's immediately going to turn it around. So hopefully he does, though. But yeah, there is clearly a different sense to AG. And how can you not look at yourself in the mirror at 0-7 when you're the only winless team in football and say, wow, everyone else's messages seem to be working to get wins. Mine is literally the only message right now that isn't. So how is that not like a sort of life to death? You're looking yourself going like, wow, it come to Jesus moment here. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can see like maybe a path for if we go off the rails this weekend again, against the Bengals.
yeah.
And I don't care if we lose, but if we lose in a wonky fashion, then I'm going to be a little upset. And I think the only way the most beneficial thing for AG at this point would be to bring Brady Cook to see if he could be developed as a backup quarterback. Because if we can get Brady Cook to be a backup quarterback, then we know that we don't have to worry about Tyrod next year. And
Right.
then, if there is any kind of market for Fields, then we can, at least alleviate some of that cap hit against us.
Right, because Brady Cook is dirt cheap, right? He's an undrafted free agent, and for those who don't know, undrafted free agents sign 3-year deals. So they sign for 3 years for nothing. So like you have that if he's any good, like that you'll have that for a while. So yeah, that could be incredibly valuable for the Jets if
And
they
yeah,
can.
and we can see if he could actually do the job. If we
Sure,
can
right?
see, if we
Yeah,
can see, because that's what people are really nervous about now. Because Campbell never developed a quarterback. That was the
right.
big,
Right,
he
they just
so
sort of got lucky. Jared Goff got thrown to the deal, and Jared Goff had during that. Obviously, he was a quarterback during their losing too. And Jared Goff got challenged by Dan Campbell. That was also in the Zach Rosenblatt story of like things are going south. They're 0-6, 0-7, and he looks to Jared Goff and says, "Hey man, you got to be better." And he said it at the podium and press conference too, and then he turned it around. Now I don't know if we're getting that kind of Justin Fields turnaround, but as we're here, where we're here, I mean the thing that I really want to see, of course, we all want to see wins, but the thing I really want to see is the offense have the doctors have just come into the room. It's beep, like, good Lord, is there any sign of life? Like clear, choo choo, and then we're getting like a week one again and a 32-point explosion and touchdowns all over the place and creativity offensively. I think that would really reinvigorate the fan base who's sort of just like lethargic right now with the lack of offense we've seen, and the defense and special teams is going away. So I think that would really help to have an
yeah,
offensive burst here, regardless of how it comes.
just some touchdowns. I mean, I'm so tired of 3 points in a way. I mean, I'm happy we get them, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not, let's get some touchdowns. I mean, the rest of the league is lighting it up. How about us?
Yes. Right. I'm listening to other shows, and they're all
Yeah.
saying, "Man, what a crazy offensive league it is." And I went, "Is it?
Is it?
For other teams, I see. Not for us, not yet.
No,
But
not yet.
good things
Yeah.
come to those who wait, I suppose.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Appreciate you, Hep. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see some of that offense going around the universe here. Unbelievable. So we'll see. Yeah, obviously that's the other thing we haven't discussed, but Aaron Glenn remains non-committal on his quarterback decision. So we do not know if it's Justin Fields. We do not know if it's Tyrod Taylor. I did not expect AG to reveal that information yesterday. That makes no sense. Allow Cincinnati to attempt to prepare for both guys, but we'll get that Wednesday or AG speaks Wednesday and Friday. So I guess he could drag it out to Friday. That's possible. But the next, unless like a network insider, like if AG tells the team Tuesday today, maybe it can leak out. But it'll probably be Friday at worst, Wednesday could be an early diagnosis for who that quarterback is. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got the legend, Dave Briga, here on the program. What's up, Dave?
Hey, good morning, Paul. How are you?
Good morning. Well, I woke up this morning. That's not bad.
Well, we all got out of bed this morning. I didn't
There
have
we
to
go.
go into work. I didn't have to go to work today.
Nice.
So I got the day off.
Okay. All
And
right. There you go.
I'm not going to talk about X's and O's at this point. It's useless to even talk about.
Yeah. Right.
It's just that listen.
Yeah.
This organization is so inept.
Mhm.
It's beyond our imagination. It's
Yeah.
beyond our comprehension. That's all I can say. What else can you say?
Yep.
I mean, there's just a pall of no hope
Mhm.
over the organization, over that whole stadium.
Yeah.
I just saw Sunday, and I didn't really watch the game. I don't have a lot of time to watch games on Sunday. I'm involved in things with the church that
Of course.
are more important to take priority.
Of
But when
course.
but it's just I've seen a lot of winning and losing over my years in sports. Okay,
Yeah.
I've been a participant in sports where you have bad teams and really good teams, and leadership is always the key. That's our organization is rudderless, absolutely rudderless. The coach telling us that he has to make calls to other coaches about who he's going to put in for the quarterback is unbelievable. That he would even reveal such things to the public.
Mhm.
I mean, this man is not a coach. Allen. Everybody rags on Allen.
Yeah.
Allen's been right on so many things.
That's true.
I know
Sure.
that people think of him as Mr. Negativity.
Yeah.
He gets negative, but that's his nature.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. But this organization is just. I mean, doesn't give you any hope now and looking into the future. I mean, this
Mhm.
is 15 years. I've
Yeah.
seen this team when it was good. Okay, going back to the 60s.
Sure.
So I can give you some good information. There's no semblance of that here. None. Zero.
Mhm.
There's none. I mean, do you see hope here? You give me your input on what you see.
Well, the only hope that I currently have is I love that the defense apparently was not a fluke, right? That the Denver thing didn't happen, and then the Jets got, because Rico Dowdle over the last 2 games prior to the Jets game had more yards from scrimmage than any Panther in their team history since their inception in '95. So, they've, he was going crazy. So he could have easily gone crazy against the Jets, and we're like, okay, the defense sucks too. But they held strong. So I like that the defense seems to have turned a corner the last 2 weeks, and it looks like it continues to point the right direction. Special teams, for the most part, has been pretty good, although Isaiah Williams made a few questionable decisions in that Carolina game. So Nick Folk's been really good. Austin McNamara's been good. But the offense is where the negativity persists, that it doesn't, and we're having a chicken-egg debate. Is it Tanner Engstrand? Is it the quarterbacks? It seems like it's the quarterbacks it being a big issue here. So the positivity for me breeds on defense and special teams, which is encouraging. But it's an offensive league. People love seeing touchdowns. People, ladies, what's the line? Chicks dig quarterbacks. Well,
Right.
we just haven't seen a lot of that this year.
We just have a coach. We can't. I don't trust these people going forward. I really don't.
It's hard to blame you.
If we end up in a position where we have to draft a quarterback, and that's also another shot in the dark deal, drafting quarterbacks
Of course
and
it is,
developing them. The New York Jets cannot develop quarterbacks. I mean, this is history.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not one to throw guys under the bus now, out the door.
Sure.
But just over the years, I mean, there's no end to this, and it all, we know it's not going to change at the top, and that's Woody Johnson, and who he has coming behind him, his son Brick Johnson, another inept.
Yeah, another Johnson. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah,
we are stuck with such a bad situation, with an owner that has no conception of how he makes money. Yeah, he's good at business.
Sure, obviously.
But what? I mean, you and me could be good at this business too if we were dropped into the whole situation.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
I mean, but we can only pray that somebody makes this man an offer he can't refuse.
We can only hope.
That's it. We can, I pray that this guy gets out of the football business, because it'll never change, Paul. He is just lost. And now this coach that he give us, Mr. T, has given us this guy, this 33rd team. They doomed us.
Yeah.
They doomed us. We the fans have to suffer. I mean, when you look at the stadium, when I was down in Tampa, I talked to a lot of the
Yes,
the
week 3. Yep.
Yeah, I was down in Tampa. It's such a different atmosphere when you go to those stadiums where people are just have they're able to get excited. That stadium there, this it's dead. MetLife Stadium #1 is a terrible place to watch a game. There's it just there's no atmosphere, and now the fans are dead.
Yeah.
Everything is dead here. It's dead. It's I'm not a negative person. I'm always trying to find the good in something.
Yeah.
But there's no hope. There's none. And people out there, a guy ragged on me the other day. They attack you personally when
yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
With the instant, they start attacking your hairline whatsoever. If they stuck in your face, just like there was a certain person on another channel. If they had it stuck in my face, he would talk differently.
I bet so. A lot of keyboard warriors out there.
Yeah. Then we have a guy like Charles Gorman who jumped ship, and I would tell Mr. Fulton, the season is young. Don't jump on the Colts bandwagon yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a mirage.
Could be. Could be.
But listen. All we want is we have to have hope, and that means having people in place that know what they're doing. This guy, you guys give him all the rope you want. I just don't have any trust in him. And if he comes back with a terrible record like 2-15, 1-16, 0-17, we know Woody's really dumb if he's not out the door. He's dumb anyway, no matter what. In football, I'm not attacking the man his business acumen.
Yeah, right. Because obviously he does that very well. But no, I hear what you're saying.
This is the problem, and we know it's not going to change. So how can he have hope? He's a clown, and this kid coming behind him is clown number 2. He was in the locker room last year demeaning players.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, not ideal.
Listen, don't be deceived. What we see is what we got. Okay.
Okay.
And something's got to be. So I wish we had a person that go into this Johnson and just wake him up some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, Paul, listen, hang in there. I got my Jets hat, even though
I love that.
I got attacked by a Giants fan by the broccoli yesterday. Not attacked.
What the heck?
He was from Long Island. All he does, the Jets have sucked since '69. I said it's easy to be a Giants fan. I said now they got hope, but we don't. At least we see what happens. They got Scatterbo and this new guy, new quarterback.
I mean, with all due respect, right? They should be happy for the future. Jackson Dart looks like a good kid, and it looks like they have a young quarterback. They're 2-5, man. Like, okay, we're 0-7 and we suck. Like, we sort of embrace that, but 2-5 isn't much better. I mean, come on, man.
Well, that Dayball's not a bright light anyway. He's
I don't think so either. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's what kills. They at least have a glimmer of hope, and we have no hope. So.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. They do. We'll see if that can change.
Yeah,
Dave, appreciate the call, brother.
All right. God bless, Bo.
There he is, Dave Briga. Man, when's that guy going to get a chance to retire, for God's sakes? Man, this guy has been giving it to the world for a long time. I'll say this. I understand. And again, we're going to continue to take your calls. I see we have many more calls to get to. There's a lot of pessimism, a lot of negativity. And I don't blame, like Briga says, I'm not normally a negative guy. I understand. 0-7. I mean, I can understand why the temperature is the temperature it is. I poked the temperature of the water, and I'm not surprised by the results I get. But I'll tell you this. Okay? I'm not giving up on AG yet. I'm not giving up on AG. I'm not ready to make him. I think I did the math yesterday. If the Jets moved on from AG as a one-and-done coach, he'd be the 37th head coach since the AFL-NFL merger since 1970 to be one-and-done by their respective team. He'd be 37th on the list. There's been 36 head coaches, including the 2 last year. There was Gerard Mayo, and the other one's escaping me right now. So there was 2 last year. Antonio Pierce, was he the guy last year? So anywho, there's been 36 in history. I at this moment in time, I don't want 37. I don't want to reset again. I don't want to rebuild again. We are doing what we're doing from that perspective. I just don't want to start over again. Now, if you have to do what you have to do, that's fine. But at this current moment in time, I'm not ready. There's still time. There's still a lot of time left in this season. Let's see what AG can do and see if he can flip a switch and if, like, what he's pouring into this team will turn flowers. And all of a sudden, we start getting some wins and momentum and energies and things of that nature are changing. Let's see what happens. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. We've got a couple hundred people in the room. Again, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. That is the free way to contribute here on the program. Also, we have a YouTube poll up right now. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm a man by the people, for the people. A question out to the fans is, do you guys and gals want me to start doing regular NFL draft content considering the team is 0-7? At this current moment, it's a 60-40 split of no, 60% no. Personally, in my head, as the guy who comes up with the content on a day-to-day basis, to me, I didn't plan on talking draft. And I'll answer your questions. You guys call and say, hey, what do you think of this guy or this guy? I'll answer those questions as best as I can. But in terms of regular draft content, I don't anticipate doing that until the Jets are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. When that graphic hits the screen, and a lot of you already believe that has happened, but when that officially happens, then there will be some level of draft content on the show on a week-to-week basis. It won't be every day, but once a week or something, or whatever it is, possible. But I don't think I'm doing it until we get to that point. But folks, again, I will listen to the fans. If there was 100% yes, I guess I have no other choice. I got to listen to the fans. But right now it's a 60-40 split. Continue to vote on that. Let's go to the phone lines. You got Badshaw here on the program. Badshaw, good morning.
What's up, Paul? So yesterday, I think you and Nick were kind of talking about, and this relates, I guess, to the whole drafting.
Yeah.
I voted no. I voted no on it. I'm not ready to talk draft. And heck, the other day I thought I heard you say, like, they were asking you about somebody, and you're like, heck, I don't know. I hadn't even been really watching that much college. So you're gonna have to be doing some homework if we're gonna start talking about draft, right? Or
100%. Yeah. Someone asked me, like, Paul, which quarterback do you like? I'm going to be honest. And I said, I watch college football because I'm a college football fan. But, like, I'm not watching it like, ooh, who would be the better quarterback, this guy or this guy for the Jets? I'm just enjoying college football. So there will obviously have to be a lever pull to start mock drafts and God knows what of getting into that for sure. So, yeah, but I have not yet. So
well, I
have not been in those waters.
It's hard to, we keep up with 32 teams in the NFL, and then you've got 134 school. That's just talking about the main schools before you start going to the, smaller schools that play and whatnot and everything. It's a lot of players to keep up with. It just is. I'm a Razorbacks fan and I'm a Red Wolves fan, and I can tell you, a few of the players, but if it's not like the Jets where you can be like, who's the left guard? And I'm like, bam, it's so-and-so. Who's the punter? I'm like, I don't, But, so, if Aaron Glenn, because I think y'all were kind of speaking about this the other day. So say we do have a terrible season, which it's looking like that's how it's going to go.
Sure.
And y'all believe there's no way we're getting rid of Aaron Glenn. When it comes to drafting a quarterback, if we are keeping Aaron Glenn next year, no matter what, do we draft a quarterback? Because Justin Fields, he's playing like trash. I'm not saying it's necessarily just on Glenn, and you got to look at Angstran too, and he's called some better play calling here lately, but somewhat. But I'm like, do we put another quarterback in that, or do we try to find somebody else? I don't know who all is going to be available next year. I don't think Jared Goff or somebody is going to fall in our lap like for the Lions. But what are your thoughts on that? What direction do we go? Do we look at a quarterback next year by drafting? Because from what I've heard, there's not much options.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say this. When Jet fans or any fans of any team are experiencing a season like this, where we're 0-7, and who knows where it's going to go. Some people say, a lot's like, the road to 0-17, baby, woo! I don't know what it's going to be, 2-15, 3-14, 7 in this, 6 in this, 5. I have no idea what it's going to be. But when you experience a season like this, most fans want to be rewarded at the end of that rainbow with a quarterback because it's hope. Look at the Giants, right? They're 2-5. 2-5 sucks. Who wants to be 2-5? 2-5 is better than 0-7, I guess, but 2-5 sucks. It's terrible. But Giant fans, I have to be imagined, are waking up in the morning going, hoo, 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 we got Jackson Dart. I imagine that has to be a pretty wonderful feeling of having that guy running your operation. It would be, and again, if there's no quarterback to be had, which again I can't speak to that yet, but if there's no, like, the quarterback stink, then you should not force a square peg into a round hole for no reason. But there are a lot of people that are apparently on the Fernando Mendoza or Heisman Doza, as Alon likes to say, that he's the clear cut. Although I'm on social media and I'm seeing other people say, no, this guy's clearly, no, this guy. There's like 5 guys right now that everyone say, no, here's clearly the number one guy. I don't know. I think it would be great for Jet fans to have that hope. If you don't get a quarterback and you get it in some other weird way, another Justin Fields out there, like another veteran that just sort of been bouncing around, you're like, oh, maybe. Like, I think Jet fans deserve to have that hope and pride and that development. Because, like, unfortunately, we know that feeling all too well. Ooh, Sam Darnold. Oh, he'll definitely be the guy. No. Oh, Zach Wilson. Oh, he'll definitely be the guy. Like, I have to go through my quarterback jersey closet now that I have to put Justin Fields on the hopper over there as another jersey. I'm like, not this guy. Not him either. Not him. So no, I would probably dip my toes into the quarterback waters, but I need more information to be able to present that. But I think Jet fans I would say universally probably want that hope of maybe having a guy that we think, because that seems to be the most natural way to turn your franchise around, is to get a young quarterback that you hit the lottery, he's good, you're like, oh yeah, baby, that can fix a lot of problems. Again, I keep pointing at Washington with Jaden Daniels. I know they're having some choppy waters this season, but last year, the magic of the NFC Championship and everything, they got the quarterback right, and then everything else, I guess it's not so bad. All of a sudden, you just bought a house, and then you start looking at some of the problems, and you're like, oh, these problems aren't too shabby. I thought they were worse, and now they're this. So there's a little bit of that action going on.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of like you, if there is somebody, and right now they're saying this guy from Indiana, Iowa, wherever he plays at.
Yeah, that's Indiana. Yep.
He's got some spark, but it would have to be like, for us to go quarterback with our situation we've got right now, with the people we've got right now, I would say it'd have to be somebody that just everybody's going. There's not a doubt in anybody's mind, this is the guy we need to go after. This is who everybody wants. People are going to be trying to trade with us to get this guy. That would be more my route for that. If not, I'd rather just go for another need, settle on another need. But that's really all draft I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about draft. I just heard y'all kind of going back and forth about that the other day. But you get a guy like Jackson Dart, yeah, they're 2-5, but man, I mean, I enjoy it. Like, I watched the Giants game after our game the other day, and I really enjoyed watching it and whatnot.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah,
I would love to just get a guy like that. It's like It's like he kind of gives me Baker Mayfield vibes. Like, they're not really built the same way, but it's like he just does stuff that's just like he's gonna do whatever it takes. It's like, maybe, and I don't know how good of a runner he is, but it's like, look at Baker the other day on that 3rd and 14, running around. I'm like, Baker's not just the quickest guy, but he was like, I got to get the first down, and he got it. He's just going to find a way. It's like 100%. My Uncle Terry Bradshaw was. That's how he was. I mean, he was like a turtle could outrun him, but at the same time, he was going to do what he could for the team, and you want guys like that. And that's hard to really, that's hard to really analyze and draft somebody like, oh, they're going to be like this. It's kind of hard. But anyway, well, that's what I was wanting to talk about today, Paul. I do have a question, and maybe your dad, you may know the answer to this.
Yeah, sure.
Because isn't your dad, isn't he like doesn't he like Navy?
Yes, yeah. Him being in the Navy, yes, yep.
Okay. So how does that work? Like, say you play, like if you're, you play for Navy or Army, and you do, I guess, your 4 years,
Yeah.
There's no way you can be drafted. I thought you had to go serve your time, and then you could kind of like Roger Staubach did.
Yeah, so that's an awesome question. I'm glad he asked it. So normally you have to do your service time. However, every once in a while, if you look at the last, I don't know, I don't know how far back I want to go, 15, 20 years, there have been Navy players that have been drafted at the tail end of drafts. Baltimore just did it somewhere within the last 5 years. They took someone in the 6th or 7th round that was a Navy midshipman, and he made a deal with the Navy that he could play the NFL first and then take care of his service time later. So sometimes, but it's sort of a request. I don't think you're just allowed, right? Let's say Navy somehow had like a number 1 overall pick quarterback. I don't think you can just say, "Yeah, fuck America, I'm going to football." I don't think I don't think he could just get out of his commitment. I think it has to be, and I don't know how the negotiation works as someone that hasn't been in it myself, of because they could say no. So but there has been examples in the past where they have given, they've granted you allowed to go do it first in terms of whatever your football aspirations are, and then take care of Navy later. And I've seen them deny people before of like, "Hey man, I want to go to the pros. I'm going to be a 5th round pick, my agent says." And they're like, "Well, fuck you. We don't give it." Like, they could draft you and hold your rights, but you got to serve your country. So I've seen it both ways before.
Well, and so the reason I'd asked was, so the other day, because I liked Bryson Daly last year. He was Army's quarterback.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was just trying to kind of keep up with him and see if maybe, because I know Roger Staubach, he went off, served his time, and I thought, well, maybe he comes back, and I don't even know if he'd play quarterback, but it was just to see if he'd come back and try to do something. And they were like, no, like, he's not going to play. Like, I was reading articles and stuff like that. He's going to serve his time and whatnot. I think he's got some kind of higher up ranking, I think, in the military or something like that.
Okay, so here it is. I just looked this up, Badshaw. So Section 557 of the National Defense Authorization Act for 2025 allows a limited transfer. So long story short, so let's say you're going to be a Navy player that's going to get drafted. You can shift from active duty to reserve initially, again, if it gets approved, and then serve your NFL and do all that stuff you want to do, and then take care of it on the back end, switching back from reserve to active military to try to fill your time. So that was a recent rule change. Okay. They do have to fulfill their service commitment no matter what, but it can often be delayed or fulfilled via reserves, depending on the approval of the Navy in that particular case.
Okay, well, yeah, and the reason I wondered was because, like Alex, the Lions have a linebacker. Alex Anzalone, he played for Army.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, okay, now how's this guy playing? But anyway, so, okay, well, that answers that question. Well, I appreciate it, Paul. I kind of got off topic today, but uh-oh.
I ain't letting you go. Yeah. Good morning, BG, and my brother Badshaw. How you doing, my man?
What's going on, Indy?
Yeah, we're looking forward to the November trip, brother.
Oh yeah,
I've heard stories.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Badshaw and his lovely wife will be up in Asheville for a week, doing the Biltmore and the whole tours thing.
That's awesome.
But decided that they're going to make the 2-hour drive over here to Charlotte to come to Dilworth.
So cool.
And watch the Jets. Hopefully, work on a second win by that time. I don't know. Yeah, but we're all excited, looking forward to it. I even spoke with the owner and the manager there, and we've got a special parking spot just for you, brother.
Hey, look at that!
The front door. You get right at the front door, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Andy. I figured you were having them take all the handicap accessible areas out, so I wouldn't show up.
We're gonna make you park in the back.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, earn your place around here. Yeah,
he's like, we've got a special spot for you down the road where you can park.
Right. 5th floor. Yeah, all stairs.
Well, hey, I've been looking over that menu, Andy. I don't know what I'm gonna get yet. You're gonna have to give me some recommendations on the food, but it looks good from what I've seen in the pictures and whatnot. And it looks like there's a lot of. It looks like it's a busy place, so it's got to be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't I'm not I wouldn't say it's Chef Kev's it's not in that era, so don't put your expectations that high.
Yeah.
Uh but yeah, it's just a good time, and and anybody else that's within a drive, maybe we can sneak Woody in there one of these
Yeah, I was about
days.
to say Woody's around those parts somewhere, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we can kind of relive the BG tailgate in small increments.
There you go, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Hey,
I just wanted to say, yeah, go ahead, Beat. Go ahead, Brett.
we're gonna have to get like a tab on the Discord for like food.
Oh
So
yeah.
Andy's posting food. I'm posting my wife's food. MFC out there.
Yeah, he's
always
always our
posting
food poster. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I know we've got others. I know it's not just us three. I mean, Paul, he's posting his chicken nuggies. We
Yeah.
got it, man. We got it, boy. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do that. But Andy, I'm freaking counting the days down, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Philly, the giant, and his big old giant smile, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a blast, brother.
Yeah, and it's always a good time, and maybe one of these days we can get BG in the family, and we'll just say, hey, while you're on vacation, swing on down here.
There we go. That'd be awesome.
Yes,
But,
sir. And when the Jets relocate to Arkansas, then y'all can come hang with me.
Wow. Okay, we'll have to work that in.
I'm the only one who thought that was funny. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, good morning to you guys. Appreciate it. I love, it was awesome that, that's what makes. I honestly, BJ, I want to say thank you for you put on a great you put on a great tailgate and all this stuff. But the people that watch the show and that came to the tailgate have just been phenomenal. We've done more than continue to stay in contact just via the Jets. It's what Badshaw and I go back and forth about what we're cooking for the week, or what I'm throwing ribs on, and I'm sending him live feeds of it just so he
That's
can watch
cool.
it.
I love that.
So that's I got to give you the credit, and and of course, without Tati, she's she's your support too. So we got to give her, the behind the scenes love, and here we are, 0-7. It's the Jets part of it is painful. I'm with you. AG's my coach.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to get rid of him yet. You can see he's frustrated.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be? You want him to go up there and be the same AG that was preseason and excited, and I nobody could do that. I don't blame him for being a little defeated. He's got a game plan. The players aren't executing. That we see that it's not necessarily at least I don't think anyway is bad game plan. It's everybody's making mistakes. Even the coaching is making some mistakes. But that in all reality, the players just aren't executing his plan, and it's kind of defeated him a little bit. We got to get him, at least we got to get him a win to get him some win back into his sail.
I think that's true.
I like the Aaron Glenn of, we're built for this shit. I like the fasten your seatbelts, Glenn. I like that Glenn. People say he's that's an arrogance that I don't care. I like it. You almost have to have that in a New York media. Maybe it wouldn't go so well in a small market like Cleveland or someplace
Arkansas.
like that. But Arkansas. It might not. But it works. It's okay in New York. If you've ever been around a New Yorker, you understand that that there's a difference in attitude. And so I'm okay with that, and so we just got to get this first win under his belt, and maybe they're going to surprise us. The defense again, we allowed 13 points. You made. I was listening. listening earlier while I was driving, and you said that somebody made a comment that look at the offense this week in the NFL, around the NFL, and we get disappointed at here we are 3 weeks and with no touchdown,
right?
But the offenses have not went blown up against us. I mean, we've dropped 13 points, 13 points against a good Denver defense.
Yep.
Or a good Denver offense that's putting up points on everybody else.
Yeah.
So we're I don't want to say we're right there. But when you can hold teams to 13 points the last couple weekends, and we just have no offense to go with it. But eventually, just like the defense, eventually it came around. We just have to have hope, and that's, as Jets fans, that's usually all we have is hope. We don't get Super Bowl rings, but hey, our hope cup is full.
Yes,
and it's not going away. So hey, keep it up, BG. I know it's tough talking about Jets content when it's 0-7, but we're still here. We're not going anywhere.
Appreciate you, man.
Those that say, "Hey, quit going to the games and get the stadiums empty." Well, the stadiums are empty by halftime at the Dallas game. The stadiums were empty by halftime at the and you know what? The tickets were still sold, so that doesn't change anything.
Right.
A lot of the people that go to those games, you saw it firsthand, and most of us have the tailgate at the pre-game, the post-game, it turns into more of an experience than it does just going for the game. Yeah, do we wish the Jets would win? Sure. And at some point it's going to come.
It is inevitable.
The laws of averages say we can't be bad
forever,
for 40 years,
consistently.
So maybe in the next 40 years, I don't know. That's why we continue to raise more young Jets fans. You've got 2 new ones right there, and so maybe they will see the benefits of the Jets winning. I don't know if we will, but hey, we can always hope.
That's it. That's all we have.
Have a great
Andy,
morning, man.
Yeah. Cheers to you, my friend. Yes. And hopefully the New York Jets can turn it around. We'll see if it happens this week against the Bengals. Real quick, I see memberships are flying in. Shout out to old Yank, baby. More gifted. Well,
it's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
All right, old Yankee, have 7 raffle tickets to our contest this month. Here are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Bo Cephas, Jake, Mr. McMoney, J7 Truther. Salute to you, good sir. Jet Strong, 1273. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Appreciate you. That's the kind of support we're talking about, old Yank. Thanks for the love here on the program. Yeah, that means the world. Let's friggin' go. We got 300 people in the room and 100 of those on YouTube. Only 60 likes on YouTube. So make sure the other 40 of you that are watching right now, hit that like button. That's a free way to contribute to the program, baby. Help get this Jet show in front of other fellow Jet fans out there in the universe, please. Also, a quick question here from Micro Fox. Do I expect major changes, major roster moves during the bye week? Trades. I don't know if it's people getting benched or something. I mean, there has been the whispers of people in the fan base saying, ooh, that'd be a perfect time to get Brady Cook in there. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if that happens, but I'm not sure. But in terms of major roster moves, I believe those are more trade deadline inspired than anything else. But appreciate the question, Micro Fox, coming in here. Keep those memberships and super chats coming here on the program for those raffle tickets and support here on the show. Let's go to the phone lines. Up next, Troy Sturgis, baby. What's up, Troy?
Hey, how you doing, BG?
Hey, not too bad.
Quick
Yourself?
Questions.
Yeah, sure.
I've got I'm kind of here at work, so I'm kind of pressed for time. Anyway, hey, the question on the owner. I hear everybody bashing the owner, and of course he hasn't had a real good time with the team. He actually gave Salah about everything a person could want.
Sure.
And everybody bashing for interfering with that. Tell me, what do you think about it? What do you think the owner could do to help this team? As far as everybody says, stay out of the way, and then they're like, well, do something. So what do you get?
That's true, and that's what I was just going to say. I think there are two things here. First off, Woody has always spent. So look at free agency splurges and things of that nature. He's always spent throughout his ownership, so that part I have to appreciate. He has stayed out of the way. Zach Rosenblatt just wrote a piece about 6-7 days ago, something like that, that AG is safe no matter what. And one of the big reasons for that is Woody has invested in AG and said, hey, man, you're going to turn this thing around, and I'm going to stay out of the way while you turn this around. So he's giving him that commitment. He's not going to just jump back into the mix. So I know a lot of people want to yell at Woody. First off, I don't like wasting time yelling at Woody because he's not going to sell the team. So, like, I think we're just wasting oxygen to yell about it, to be honest, if anyone does. So he's not going to sell the team. And number two, I think people overrate how bad he is. There's a lot of other bad owners in sports that are terrible. And the fact of the matter is that what he spends, that's something that's a tangible control point of giving money to this organization to spend on Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and all these trades and stuff. I don't think it's due to a lack of trying. That, to me, seems pretty obvious if you look at the evidence that's presented.
He spends a lot. I mean,
100%.
He showed it last year.
Yeah. And then obviously, like I just said, and then him staying out of the way this year, I think that's what everyone wanted. So now we can't have it flip the other way, I don't think.
Yeah. Also, kind of what Dave was mentioning about the comments from Aaron Glenn about have to contact some other coaches, see what they do in this situation. I mean, why would he say something like that?
To me, I think that was kind of silly. Even if he was going to do that, I don't think I would have admitted that publicly. So
right. And also, I'm kind of a firm believer in trading Brees.
Yeah.
I think he's at a point where I think he needs to go. I mean, obviously, just with his tweets and things, you can kind of tell he's kind of wanting them to send him on his way. But I ain't up for a full fire sale, but I think we could use some extra picks coming into this draft to try to build the team for Glenn that what he wants. Obviously, he can't win with Saleh's players, so hopefully he can get out of them a little bit more what they want. But I don't want to trade Jermaine. I think he is a non-tradable player. Maybe Quinnen and Quincy. You know, if they bring in a ransom haul, then sure, so be it. Let's put in some fresh players that don't have that, you know. Well, you've been losing all this time. So anyway, I got to get off here.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Troy. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, just to carry over a few of the points you just said, appreciate Troy and your support, brother. Great to have you calling into the show. Couple of things here. I would say, right, in terms of pure fire sale, that word has connotation of like literally you're selling off everything. I don't think the Jets do that. And Batch saying the South has taken over Boy Green Daily today. Hey now. I love all the support from wherever, and it's cool that we're all over the place. We got Shad, our guy out in California. We've got Indy in North Carolina. We've got FL Phil 98 in Florida. I mean, literally, we've got Boy Green Daily, Jets Coffee Club members all over the place. It's awesome, which is cool. I'm cool with selective selling, right? Like Brees Hall had a whatever game that he had. The Jets aren't able to maximize his talents. It's not turning into touchdowns. It's not turning into points. So I think there is a compelling case to be made that ahead of the trade deadline, there seems to be a lot of interest. Hopefully we do much better than a 4th or 5th round pick because the Jets are missing a 3rd and a 5th this year in this year's draft. 3rd, of course, they traded for Hassan Reddick. Would rather have not been reminded of that. And then the 5th was the trade up for Tyler Barron, the swap with Baltimore. So I'd love to replace those picks, and I'd love to add more picks to the pile, just more assets to potentially turn this thing around. So, again, selective selling, I am open to that conversation. Unfortunately, that could include Quincy, that could include Brees. Michael Carter II continues to be a name that's talked a lot about, but is that just us forcing a name to try to trade versus what actually is happening? That's TBD, I guess. But Michael Carter II, Quincy Williams, Brees Hall, I'm trying to think of who else. If Allen Lazard can literally get anything in exchange, I think some of those guys are said to be had. But we have over 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's go back to the phone lines. Our man, Ricky New York live, baby. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, BG? I am notoriously bad for like not, trying to promote my own show, but I'm actually going to do that right now and encourage you to stop by tonight because I've got a whole lot to say on these topics. I've been listening to everything, over the last week or two. And first of all, like that, I'll give you a taste of what's coming tonight. That philosophy that everybody eats, not at Cafe New York Jets, because the food never leaves the kitchen. Okay. Justin Fields has been so bad these last 2 games. And in the first several games, costly turnovers cost us those games. And I think, he hasn't been turning the ball over because he hasn't even been throwing it. But it's been really bad. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, guys, please make sure you subscribe right now. Again, it's Ricky New York Live. Let's build those subscribers up. You see, I'm already subscribed. So should you out there in the universe. Again, make sure you open up a new tab and subscribe to my man, Ricky New York Live, right now. But go ahead, Ricky.
Absolutely. And if you want a little bit of positive outlook on this team, I'm going to give you some tonight because,
awesome.
It's all a matter of perspective. Like somebody posted yesterday, like most of the Jets' touchdowns have been in garbage time.
Yes, I've seen
and I was like, wait a minute. You're saying that Garrett Wilson and Lazard in the Tampa game in the fourth quarter, that those were garbage time touchdowns. That was a 2-point game that we were leading with 1.5 minutes left. You're saying that Garrett Wilson's touchdown in the fourth quarter of the Dolphins game is a garbage time touchdown, but that was a 6-point game. It's not garbage time if you're still in the game. It's garbage time if you're getting blown out. We were not getting blown out. The first, 4 or so games of the year, our defense was so bad, and with the turnovers, we beat ourselves. Like we beat ourselves more times than the opponents beat us. When Quincy first got hurt, I heard other YouTube shows saying it's obvious that Kiko is just not an NFL player. And now these last couple games, he's looked pretty good. And this is for all those people that say it's just everything that's wrong is coaching. Brandon Stevens was awful at the beginning of the year. He's played pretty damn good these last 2 weeks. He had that really great play in the end zone on Leggett this week.
Yes.
Where he knocked the pass down. But even better than that, when you watch it, he doesn't get his head all the way around, but he does start to get his head around. Honestly, it's a little bit slow and a little bit late. Yeah. But the fact that he is getting his head around.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn coached him from what we saw at the beginning of the year to what we're seeing right now. The problem with this team is that we have the wrong quarterback. And because of that, it's going to set everything back by an entire year. And that sucks, but it's the truth. It happened to my college team last year, and we won 1 game. Sometimes you pick the wrong guy. I think leading up to them signing Fields, and let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers would have undermined everything that Glenn's trying to build.
No doubt.
And if you get a guy that's maybe experienced but a bad locker room guy, a la Carson Wentz, you would have got the same result. It would have undermined everything he's trying to build. Fields is so soft-spoken that he's not going to undermine anything. But honestly, like the lack of energy and enthusiasm in those pressers scares me. It's like, how can you want this guy to fire up your team? Like, he's putting me to sleep listening to him. It's alarming, honestly. And
hey, by the way, a super chat's coming in from J-Boy directed to you here, Ricky. So appreciate the super chat, J-Boy.
Wow.
Ricky, my guy, they have done nothing but get blown out all season. Go watch all the first halves. Your response, Ricky.
Listen, it is no surprise that, I get comments like this because our defense was awful. Like we were giving up points, in the beginning of the year. Now, the last 2 weeks, we've given up 13 a game. I'll take 13 a game all year long.
100%.
Like usually when you give up 13 points in a game, you win that game.
Yes.
Okay. And that's what our defense has done the last 2 weeks under this coaching staff. So we all said, oh, we just want to see improvement. Well, we've seen it. And the thing is, from the very beginning, like everybody said, Fields is a one-read quarterback. Like we knew what he was. But yet we're mad that he didn't find the third or fourth option that was wide open. We knew he was never going to get that far in his progression anyway. Like that's not who he is. But now we're mad because he's not something that we knew he wasn't. Like now he's been much worse than, dude, if we had the Fields from Pittsburgh or the Fields from Chicago, we'd be better than we are right now. He has somehow managed to regress. And I honestly think that in Glenn, and there weren't any other options other than Fields that would have been better. And as far as the wide receiver two conversation, signing like a Josh Palmer or Tyler Boyd wasn't going to save this season. Come on. Like, and even with Arian Smith, if they gave him a bunch of snaps, it would be impossible to evaluate him because he's never getting the ball. Like, this quarterback has pretty much screwed this season for us. And I really think that, like, you know, Glenn speaking to him, Fields gave him the impression, like, I've never really had a chance to play quarterback. And Glenn figures I can get so much out of my players. Let's see if I can get something out of him. And it was always a question is if it's going to work or not. And it just hasn't. He's just not that guy. Tony Adams wasn't that guy. He replaced him. And Malachi Moore hasn't been great, but he's been at least a modest upgrade. So, you know, I don't know. I still think we've got the right coach. We're headed in the right direction. I don't think he was getting fired regardless of how much a disaster this first year was. I think that's why Woody gave him a 5-year deal. So I don't think he's getting fired. I don't think he's going anywhere. And for the people that say, oh my God, can you imagine Aaron Glenn with the first round pick? Dude, Membu's a stud. Mason Taylor looks really good when someone actually throws in the ball. The picks they made
that's something
good.
I don't understand so far, Ricky, to be honest with you. There have been a lot of people that have come out, influential people that have said, clearly you can't let Aaron Glenn get his stupid hands on the next quarterback. And the two reasons I hear is, you know, like what you just said. And then like, look, Justin Fields, look, he picked him and he sucked. Like, I don't know. To me, I think we're doing hindsight 2020 and changing the narrative. At the time, Justin Fields was the best, most realistic quarterback option we could have gotten, and it hasn't worked. Like, how does AG just get the blame for that? And, clearly he can't, you know, tell anything on quarterbacks. Like, what other options were out there in free agency to pick from? I don't understand.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and the other thing is that, you know, we had kind of an underwhelming free agency and an underwhelming free agency class. But then when there were still deficiencies on the team, Muji traded for Phillips and Briggs and Brownlee, who have all helped to make this team better. Like the staff has not done a bad job. And I think people are just so caught up in wanting to jump onto that same old Jets negativity. And, you know, like they're bitching that, like, you know, look at Arian Smith and Tyler Barron. Those were wasted draft picks. Why is Aaron Glenn expected to turn 4th and 5th rounders into superstars and starters when we didn't expect that from any other coaching staff? Like, I mean, it's kind of funny the way that people are moving the bar and like, listen, you know, Aaron Glenn brought some of it on himself being as abrasive as he was when he first came out. And I think that's why so many people are against him, you know, like it just rubbed him the wrong way because he was talking like that and we weren't winning games. However, like if you really watch it, like it went from like him combative in the beginning and then later there's a presser where like he starts to say something and the beat reporter is like, well, yeah, I know we can be kind of negative sometimes. And him and Glenn both laugh and Glenn's like, yeah, you can. And it's like, look, he's got the media trained to, you know, like ask questions, but like don't ask questions because you're trying to get a headline because I'm not going to put up with that shit. You guys have been doing that for a long time and I'm not doing that. And, you know, again, his message would be better received if we were winning games, but I like it. I like the no bullshit attitude. He's going to be who he's going to be. The message is going to stay the same. And I think that, he's doing the best with what he can. But, dude, Fields was just the wrong guy. They rolled the dice on the wrong friggin' guy. And because of that, it set everything back. But I've got no worries moving forward. I got no worries when we take our quarterback next year. And I think we will.
All right, Ricky, a great plug. Everyone, again, make sure you check out the channel, Ricky New York Live, baby. Can't wait for the show tonight. I'll be tuning in. Thanks, brother.
Right on, man. Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight. I hope to see all you guys there. And thank you, as always, BG. Have a great day, man.
There you go. Ricky New York Live. Again, that'll be at 8 o'clock this evening. Make sure you guys check it out for my boy Ricky here on the program. Much appreciated. And we just reached 8,100 subscribers, baby. Let's go. I just saw it. It just updated. Let's freaking go, baby. Hail to the yeah. Amen. 8,100 people in the middle of all this are jumping on the train. Now, real quick before we go to the phone lines, okay? There's a lot of backpedaling happening, right? So I've said Justin Fields was the best, most realistic quarterback option the Jets could have picked this offseason, okay? And Yo Holmes, you feel free to call in if you want to combat. I am totally fine with back and forth conversation, but I believe Justin Fields at the time was the most realistic quarterback that could have come here. Yo Holmes disagrees and says Fields was never the best option. So I ask in the comment section, well, who was a better option? And I hear Daniel Jones. And I get it for Philly Noodles and all the Daniel Jones advocates that were out there, my old man, okay? Daniel Jones was never coming back here to New York. Come on. I said realistic. Okay? Sam Darnold was a great quarterback option that I would have loved. He did not want to come back to New York. I can't blame him. Daniel Jones was not coming back to New York. He wasn't coming to the Giants. He obviously left the Giants. He wasn't coming to the Jets. That was never an option. He wasn't coming back to this market. He was going somewhere else. So I ask again to the universe for the people that say, Justin Fields, terrible quarterback decision choices by Aaron Glenn and this regime. Tell me who was a better quarterback option. And Mac Jones doesn't count. Stop. Hindsight. I'm saying right now, an option that was there, that was available. Mac Jones was in New England. He flamed out, got traded to Jacksonville to be a backup, and he was available. Come on, man. Mac Jones, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Mac Jones. He was a backup in Jacksonville. What did he show at all where you were like, yeah, clearly the best quarterback option available? Don't try to play hindsight, people. Come on. And again, on choices. Was Mac Jones coming here to New York or going to the quarterback factory that's San Francisco? So, come on. And then we're talking about value. Look, he only signed for 2 years and $7 million. You make it seem like that's where he's going to sign no matter what. He took less to sign in San Francisco because Kyle Shanahan's one of the best offensive minds out there. The Jets don't have Kyle Shanahan here. So Mac Jones, off the list. Give me a realistic name, okay? And as you guys struggled to do so, Justin Fields was the best quarterback option. He stinks. It wasn't good, but that's who was evaluated. So come on, man. Come on. Unbelievable. Yo, Holmes, I'm saying Daniel Jones received that $12 million guaranteed versus Fields $30 million guaranteed. It's laughable. Daniel Jones was never coming here. NC Green saying BG growing subscribers while the Jets are winless takes talent. There's no doubt about that, I guess. That's unbelievable. But Yo Holmes, I just don't see it. BG making things up. What are you talking about? Wrong verb. How do I know that Daniel Jones wouldn't have come here? Money talks, brother. No, it doesn't. Money is not the only reason why people do things in life. People are motivated by all kinds of things. I'm not making things up. Daniel Jones struggled in New York, and the media narrative ate him alive. And he leaves. He gets dumped. He asks for his release. He gets cut, goes to Minnesota, and he goes to a new location. Come on. I'm not making things up. Daniel Jones would have never come here. You have to have realism, people, when you're evaluating these quarterback decisions. You need to have realism. Sam Darnold was never coming here. Daniel Jones was never coming here. You just say money talks. If they gave Sam Darnold $1 billion, would he have come here? Come on. We just have to be realistic. And that's the truth. You guys may not like the truth. And then I hear Aaron Rodgers. Come on, man. The Jets made the right choice. Aaron Rodgers is playing fine and dandy there in Pittsburgh. Although some of the advanced analytics like total QBR and things of that nature don't look as great for Aaron Rodgers. But I'm not going to nitpick. We're 0-7, okay? But like the Jets had to rip off the Band-Aid. Aaron was maybe only staying for one more year. Where would the Jets be right now? 2-5 instead of 0-7? How much better is that? So no, the decision to move on from Aaron Rodgers was fine. I have no issues. I had no issues with that initially, and don't about now. I just don't understand. Anywho, let's go to like Yo Holmes. Okay, let's get to these. Jameis Winston was a better quarterback option. He's a backup. What do you mean he would have been a better quarterback option? We haven't seen him. Russell Wilson was awful when the Giants got benched. Teddy Bridgewater's a backup. All of your answers suck. How are these clearly better quarterback options? And by the way, Bridgewater was retired as a high school coach. So that option sort of became available late. But Russell Wilson was benched. Winston, we haven't seen. How are these clearly better quarterback options? That's just unbelievable. I just don't understand. Russell Wilson sucks. Anywho, but let's go back to the phone lines. Johnny boy, save us. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, BG. Good morning, man.
Good Lord. Good morning.
Morning, I see.
Yeah, it's getting spicy.
Man, let's keep it 100. Russell Wilson. You saw what he was. What would he have done with us over here?
Yeah,
Jameis.
No idea.
That dude's this third stringer right now, right? Got beat by a rookie.
And here's a super chat coming in. All right, let's get to another quarterback option we haven't talked about. All right, hold the line.
Wow.
First off, Kirk Cousins wasn't a free agent. Number two, apparently what the Falcons want is a third or fourth round pick and the other team to eat all the money. Why the hell would the Jets do that for Kirk Cousins? So in terms of just overall play, if he got cut, sure, Kirk Cousins would have been. But also, here's the other thing. Would he have come here? He played the Jets a couple years ago. The Jets thought they were going to get him. And money talks, right? Quote, unquote, money talks. They offered him a 3-year, fully guaranteed $90 million deal. He took a 3-year deal for $87 million with the Vikings. He took less to not play for the Jets. He had more money from the Jets, and he said no. So the arguments around money talks and money's everything. Apparently, that's not true. Kirk Cousins played the Jets like a fiddle and got more money from the Vikings where he wanted to go. So come on, people. So unfortunately, Kirk Cousins, that one doesn't count. That's off.
And Cousins coming back from that injury too, when everybody
of course, the torn Achilles, of course, well. Right.
So
right, we're going to move on from Aaron Rodgers and his Achilles problems for another guy with his Achilles problems.
And let's be honest, Fields, he's not the guy.
Not.
I wanted Fields to be. I thought, he was going to be the bridge that we were going to need, and maybe go from there. But it just didn't happen. And then let's bring up the Aaron Rodgers situation. Would I have loved to have had Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams over here? Yes. Why not? But let's go ahead and say Aaron Rodgers is here. We're still 0-7 with Aaron Rodgers and Davante, right? Do I think that would have happened? No. But let's just say that's where we're at, right? How would it feel of us having him on Pat McAfee, which none of our players are going on to any show? How about Davante Adams going on to the K Adams show, talking over there, and it's more of a circus in regards to what's going on? People are saying Sanders. Could you imagine Sanders over here mouthing like he's actually talking, but he's not? I'm on the same boat with you, BG. I've been with the AG, and this is coming from a guy that AG wasn't my first option. I wanted Flores, Ben Johnson, then it was him. You got to give him time. We gave these other people that were here time. The defense, just like what Ricky was just saying, you're seeing it change. The guys that were there before, that were from a previous regime, have been benched, and they're using the guys that they bringing up, and they're coaching them up. So that's something to see. Maybe Tyrod comes in and it's a different. I mean, it already looked different from the few snaps that he came in on here. I just don't. We got to get a dub, man. And I feel bad for like a Jermaine. I feel bad for Garrett Wilson. I feel bad for Brees, where all they've ever known is straight losing. So I can't fault these guys from them going on social media and saying something has to give. You know, all I know is losing is essentially what Brees is saying itself. So like, I don't know what the answer is. You know, I just know this: the constant that's been here has been Woody Johnson. If we're gonna keep it a buck, right? I mean, I think it was what's her name from Bree from the her show, the Hot Girls thing or whatever it is that she does, talking about $100 for parking. Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want, you know, Woody Johnson, don't go to the games. It's that simple. Don't buy the Jets merch. But the fact of the matter is, we're gonna continue to keep doing it. I got Jet crap on. I mean, I can't help it. I love this damn team. I'm an idiot for loving this team. I felt bad for that one kid that they interviewed. You know, why do you love the New York Jets? He says, I was born into this shit. And I can't help it. But again, like, what honest Daniel Jones was being run out of New York. What are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying, right? Vinny Luciano says Daniel Jones would have come here for a guaranteed start job at $30 million. That is so not true. People are saying I'm making things up. You're making things up. Vinny, did you speak with Daniel Jones? Oh, you didn't? Oh, you're just quote unquote making things up like I am too? No, get the hell out of here. He was to what Johnny just said. He was run out of New York. The New York thing was not going to happen. Again, money does not guarantee everything. Money you just throw money at someone and say, "Hey, dance for me," because I just gave you a bunch of money. Do it. People are not just going to do things because you pay them to do it. Again, Daniel Jones was going to go to a different spot. He had better options. It takes two to tango. Jets are not just going to dump money into anything and they automatically come here. Obviously, we've gone through that in the quarterback decisions. And then we have people in here about how is Russell Wilson not better than Justin Fields? Folks, Russell Wilson stinks. He's bad. He's not good. So, like, again, Justin Fields hasn't been good either, but Russell Wilson, like, obviously that decision did not work out. When they benched Justin Fields and went to Russell Wilson, they landed in the same place they've always been, not winning a freaking playoff game. I just don't understand.
And I mean, do I get the frustration from all the fans like Yo Holmes and Incel Allen and regular Allen? I do, because I mean, bro, we're 0-7. We're gonna constantly battle everything right now because we haven't won crap. You know, I can't believe we're here is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, right.
And it's tough, you know, and we're gonna continue to keep going. But yes, Fields did not pan out. He didn't pan out. Could you imagine if Fields goes somewhere else and then he looks crazy good and then we're over here like, see, well, he should have been this.
See, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
It's just
like,
all this fucking made up bullshit about like this, that, or the other. Right? The Jets swung, they missed, and I'm not. And it is what it is that you missed, and now we have to eat it and figure it out. But like even the $30 million guarantee that people keep blowing up, like what a stupid deal by the Jets. Like how stupid. Like it ranks like 20th among starting quarterbacks. So I don't even understand why people are calling it this stupid, silly thing. It was a worthwhile risk. They attempted it. It flopped. Okay. Shit happens all the time. The Jets, hey, are you new here? Jets screw up free agent signings all the time. So, like, I don't know.
And like we were talking last time with this game that just happened. You wanted to see what Tanner was going to be, right? You saw the difference between when Fields and Tyrod came in, and Tyrod was able to run the actual offense a lot better to where they were doing some crazy looking plays in the back that were developing. You're seeing it. So is he going to start this game? I think he should. You know, so and Vinny, I get what you're saying with Rodgers.
I don't. Aaron Glenn and Aaron Rodgers would have never worked out. Exactly. There was oil and water. Clearly, you could just tell there was this sort of a rub. So again, we're playing in Madden fantasy land when people in the Aaron Rodgers camp say, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers, look at him. Look, it would have been great." No, Aaron Glenn even said it in the meeting. Like, my fear is that I'm going to be saying something, and people in the room that are Rodgers people, Quinnen was a big Rodgers guy, that they look back at Aaron to try to see his approval on what Aaron Glenn was saying, and Aaron Glenn's got to run his own operation. They could not have coexisted together. That is the uncomfortable truth. So one of them had to make it. Who's going to make it? The coach that was just hired to a 5-year deal, or Aaron Rodgers? I think Aaron Glenn's going to win that one, and he did. So
and BG, could you imagine if Rodgers would have came back with Devontae? So Garrett Wilson, there was the whole talks that Garrett Wilson did not want to play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. So you're going to tell me that you want a young cat and Garrett Wilson to be gone
Right,
compared
who said he would have? He didn't say it straight up, but this is what Rappaport reported, that if Aaron and Devontae and everybody would have come back, he would have potentially requested a trade. So for all the criticism about Justin Fields, let me repeat this one for the people in the back that, that it's a failure, and it is. If Justin Fields' greatest contribution to the Jets is that Garrett Wilson signed long-term, then that $30 million was worth it, because Garrett had this renewed thing with Justin Fields coming back, his old college quarterback. If we would have kept Aaron Rodgers, apparently there were rumors that he would have requested a trade. So now we have Garrett Wilson locked in for life, quote unquote, for the foreseeable future. So, let's consider that in all this Justin Fields mix, is that he signed after Justin Fields inked his deal. Would that have happened with Aaron Rodgers? Probably not.
Correct. Exactly. So that's what I mean. And you saw Devontae, what he said on K. Oh, I don't know, and anything like that. I gotta wait, essentially until Aaron Rodgers decides what's gonna go on. Blah blah blah. It would have been a circus. He would have been on Pat McAfee show. This dude would have been on Kay Adams talking about how crappy everything is. These guys right now, you could say for whatever it is, but you don't have guys going on different shows talking about how bad the Jets are right now, because we see it on a constant. So,
and how many more wins would we have? 2? Again, where would we be? We're 0-7 right now. Let's magically drop Aaron Rodgers on this team, as some of you guys are begging for in the comment section. What are we, 2-5? What are we, 3-4? What is the difference in our destiny of the season? Are we suddenly winning a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Obviously not. And by the way, look, our quarterbacks for the Jets have been sacked 20 times for the last 3 games. Would Aaron Rodgers still be alive? Be getting sacked 20 times? Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. So that's all. Like I said again, seeing what Rodgers is doing and what Devontae is doing and all that, would I have loved that over here? Yes, of course I would have. But the fact of the matter is, they were not meshing. It wasn't going to work over here. And it is what it is now. We can't keep thinking about, look, we got Fields, Tyrod, and Brady Cook. And that's the fact. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. BG, I'm out. Peace.
Appreciate you, Johnny. Unbelievable. Good Lord have mercy. We have 300 plus people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We just reached over 8,100 subscribers. Shout out to all the great people in the audience. Keep joining that army. Again, my big number to try to get to is 10K. We'll see if we get there sooner rather than later. Let's go back to the phone lines. We've got Lou B, Super Jets fan. What's up, Lou B?
I'm stressed, BG. This whole thing is just stressed the hell out of me. One thing I want to say is that the Jets give their players a lot of power, and Johnny Boy, you just picked up on it, right? G5 did not want Aaron and Devontae back. I mean, he was sharing time with them, whatnot. He wanted them gone. Then G5 got his wish and got the quarterback that he feels comfortable with, right?
For sure, right?
So when we talk about losing Garrett Wilson, obviously unbelievable player, throws his whole body into it, getting hurt because of, like I said, he was throwing hospital balls, this guy. But Garrett sort of pushed us in this spot right now. And 7 losses, to me, if you said have Garrett Wilson or 7 losses, I would rather part from G5. I'm just
what?
The fact that we're going to possibly go 0-17 is unbelievable.
Yeah, that sucks.
It doesn't matter what receiver we have. We could have 5 Garrett Wilsons. It doesn't matter right now.
But it's more than just a season, right? This season sucks, of course, but Garrett for the foreseeable future, 5-6 years, or this shitty season we're having, I'll take the Garrett Wilson for the foreseeable future over the shitty season. That's a worthy sacrifice. Although those two things I don't think are intermingled, but
I want to say how I feel they're intermingled, because the other good players that we're having, that we have, are starting to cry out to not want to be here no more. So not only do we have to rebuild, but then we have to rebuild again, whether we're trading these guys out for picks, but there are guys that just don't want to deal with this no more. So now Garrett Wilson cannot tackle. He cannot block. I mean, as a lineman, he can't do, there's only one position he plays, right? And look, to me, he's the biggest winner on the team. He's in every play. He's pumping people up. He's the best guy ever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the sacrifice to put a quarterback in that he feels comfortable with has been incredible, because me and you were at practice. Justin Fields played way better at practice. And yes, I know he was going against the Jets, but the defense actually is not that bad considering how we've seen them play now. So they coached him up and actually coached him down. They put the camera on his head. They said, this is what you're doing wrong. Do this. They almost made him like Frankenstein out there because he got worse, right? I saw him throw dimes at practice. Who is he? Who is he now? He's gone. So, I mean, my point is if they continue to give these players power, so G5, okay, Aaron gone, Devontae on, that's the past. Now we get Fields, and Fields basically comes in and negotiates a contract that I believe that he didn't want them drafting a young rookie in the draft, right? You've seen, we were looking at 5th round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. There were other guys out there. Not that would have been our savior, but that could have been somebody in 3 years from now. Are we really going to look at the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, and none of those guys are going to have a decent career? Will Howard's out there. Will got picked in the 6th round. That would have been a good, backup guy. And, I'm a firm believer that Brady Cook is going to be in sooner than I've been screaming this for a while. I believe they got so much tape on. Remember who Brady played for. He was being protected by Membo.
Of course, right.
That's his guy. He loves him. And Membo came out and said, oh, my God, I'm so happy he's a fighter. He's got moxie, Brady Cook. And not that we're going to win with Brady Cook, but the one thing we will see with Brady Cook is our receivers that are out there maybe getting some passes. But just to sum it all up, the power that they gave G5 has now left us in this spot. Yeah, I love G5 on the team, but we get Fields, we get no backup, or we get no young quarterback that we could have drafted. We had so many picks to get somebody decent. And I feel like we're in this shitty spot, and we are in this shitty spot because of our quarterback. As bad as Aaron Glenn has made some decisions, the quarterback position has crushed this team. It's crushing the offensive line. How long can they block? They got to block double. I was watching the game last night. I was counting for the first time in my life how fast these quarterbacks get these balls. 1, 2, 3. Bang on. I mean, the time these guys would have thrown 4 passes, Justin would still be looking around. It's crazy. I'm sorry to go on this rant, but
no,
we're just in like a shitty spot right now. And I do believe this season's over, and I do hope we get first pick. And I can't believe I'm on the tank train right now because
it's a tough place to be.
It kills me, and I go to every game. So to even go to the game, and I will go to every game, I will sit there and continue to support them. But to watch this and not hope for first pick at this point, what else are we going to do?
It's a fair point with 0-7. What other choice do you have with playoffs not attainable, despite whatever is mathematically still alive? That it's more attainable for the number 1 overall pick. I don't blame Jet fans for shifting that target, that whatever, that desire, that like, hey man, the number 1 pick hopefully can lead to the change of our misfortune. So I don't blame you.
It's been rough, BG. Have a good day. Sorry for my rant, but
not at all.
This is just crazy.
It is. I appreciate you, Loopy. One of the best for sure. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Ring the bell. I believe we got our guy Vinny here. What's up, Vinny?
Yo, BG, what up, man?
What's going on? Yeah, this is great. Let's go.
Hey, first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to you, man, because you like on therapy on these days, man. Times are tough.
Yeah, boy, do we need it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you and Jake Asman, y'all are the best, man. But
I appreciate
I just was, you asked a question about the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I gave an answer. My opinion is that the best option was already on the roster. Because he was willing to groom a kid and do all the things that we need a veteran quarterback to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would you say AG's first big decision was as head coach?
I would imagine getting rid of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, just quarterback in general.
Sure, yeah.
Now, this is the same guy who says you have to earn your spot, right?
He has said that, yes.
Why did he just hand the job to Justin Fields?
It's a good question.
That was the, and I don't mean to interrupt you. That to me was the ultimate. That to me was the ultimate mistake, my man. Is you should have made him at least earn his spot. And going back to Daniel Jones real quick. I'm not saying Daniel would have came here, but if you guaranteed him a starting job, that's why he didn't go back to Minnesota, because he knew he could go to Indy and probably start.
Sure.
I think
Indy didn't. Yeah.
I think he'd have had that same chance here, and to stick it to the other team across town. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I can't. Right. We can't rule that out of like getting to shove it in the Giants' face in the same town.
That's all I'm saying, man. Listen, I like going to Justin Fields, but I didn't like promising him the starting job. I thought that was ridiculous for a team that's trying to, everybody's going to earn their spot. And my man just got the job handed to him when we've seen how shaky he is in other teams. So that's all I had to say, BG. Thank you, my man. I'm at work right now delivering.
Yeah, right.
We're doing the beer and the wine, bro. Unloading the truck as we speak. Unloading the truck as we speak. So props to you. I wasn't trying to like argue with you or anything like that. This is just my opinion. We're all frustrated with this team, but I want to thank you. I love watching you and Pop on Saturday morning. So keep up the good work, my man.
Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate the passionate call. I'll say this. Vinny brings up a lot of good points. Here it is, straight up. AG did pride himself on, like, hey, man, everyone earns their spot. And then they immediately handed the keys to Justin Fields. That's hypocritical. While that's true, hands on the table, 100% that's true. My follow-up would be, I just said money doesn't always talk. Money did talk in this particular case. Justin Fields had $30 million guaranteed. He was going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, could they have played it up? Could they have dressed it around and said, all right, Tyrod and Justin, compete? That was a big word in the offseason. Compete. We're going to compete. Everyone's going to compete for their job. No job is given. Could they have played around? Yeah, maybe. And then that would have, his word of like everyone earns it, even though Justin's going to get the gig. That touche on that. But hey, no one's got to apologize for having takes. No one's got to apologize for having different opinions. As a matter of fact, I encourage different opinions. As much as I love everyone calling to the show and saying how handsome and always right I am, which feel free to continue to do so, I'm all for differing opinions and conversations. We are all frustrated. Vinny said it right. We're all frustrated. We're 0-7 for God's sakes. I mean, this is a terrible, disgusting place to be, and we're just left to sort of sit and stew on where the Jets are and frustration, right? There's frustration, but we're in a straitjacket. We can't do anything with our frustration. We're just locked. All these thoughts and everything are locked inside our minds and bodies, so there's nothing to do about it. Like, we just have to sit here and take it as Jet fans. So, passionate show today is surprising. I did not know this show was going to go 2 hours, but hey, now you never know what's going to happen. That's why it's a show by the people for the people. By the way, let me revisit the poll real quick and see. Do you guys want me to start talking draft? It is now flipped to 60% of the fans saying yes, talk draft in the middle of the show. That's hilarious. I will tell you this. I will start to make calls and set it up. It won't be every day. We have the bye week coming up. That'll open up some other opportunities, but we will work some more draft in the show, but it won't be every day. And we'll try to paint it for everybody. Although the 60% of the fans saying, hey, man, time to talk draft. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like the video, hit subscribe. We will be back at 3 o'clock for Boy Green Meets Woody. And we'll answer some of the top questions that come from this Panthers game heading into the Bengals game as we battle all the jungle cats from Panthers to Bengals. We'll break it all down. I say this every show, but I hope it doesn't get lost in the sauce. Like it's just an automatic catchphrase my action figure says. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm glad that we're in this together despite all the crap that's going around, and we're going to continue to be together. Shout out to the brand new 8,100 subscribers. That means the world. We're 1,900 away. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not, from 10K, and we'll get there sooner rather than later. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.